I want to talk about something that's probably going to make a lot of you rightfully angry. Here's a little factoid for you, something to sink your teeth into. Nancy Pelosi, a career politician, has made $10 million in unrealized gains in the stock market in 1 week. Think about that for a second. A person whose oath is basically to serve her constituents, serve her country, has personally profited over $10 million in 1 week. Now, obviously, to most people in this world, that is a huge amount of money, but let's really get into how big it is. Her yearly salary is $223,000. So you're telling me a person that's been making $200,000 a year is somehow in a situation where her stock portfolio is so incredibly large that she can make $10 million in 1 week? Now, obviously, for those of you who've been following the channel or just following what the GOAT of Wall Street is up to, we know that most of her gains have been coming from Nvidia, and the fact that Nvidia recently bounced back, that's why she's up so much money. But if you think about it, that's still just a jaw-dropping amount. She's getting all of this money from extremely leveraged, long-dated Nvidia call options. She is now playing Nvidia straight up. She does have shares, but on top of it, it's more from the fact that she has millions and millions and millions of dollars betting on Nvidia. And let me remind all of you that even though they're not supposed to do it, it's kind of absurd to assume that they're not trading on insider information. They clearly have access to information that is not publicly available. And when I say they, I'm referring to the entire political establishment, not just the left, not just the right, all of them. I mean, just look at the committees they're on, and then all of a sudden they go from never having a career in finance or trading or Wall Street or fundamental analysis or any of that to all of a sudden they become lights out traders. It's absolutely insane. And to better explain how just absurdly, egregiously immoral this is, it's right in all of our faces, and yet our politicians don't care. An annual income of at least $200,000 is now needed to afford a typical home in 17 major metro areas in the US. And then obviously you can see highlighted on the screen right now, in 3 of the areas of California, we're talking over 400K, 420, 423, and 587. How disgustingly absurd is that? Everything is going up, and that is the way our economy is built. And I don't want to get into like a financial economic lecture, but what matters is the ratio. I don't mind the price of everything going up, but I mind people's wages relative to that. And unfortunately, that gap is getting larger. It's getting absolutely disgusting. So as that is playing out, as the quote unquote average person is continuing to feel more and more of the financial pinch of the current economy, we're seeing prices absolutely rip. We know that the average person, the chance of getting a home is going down every single day, especially when you have these Wall Street titans such as BlackRock just buying and buying and buying and buying. Like literally, it feels as if there's a room of financial executives bidding on a home, and then they just get stoked and they're partying that they beat out a single mom just trying to get a house for her family. It's getting to be that level of absurd. And then when you dive into the data, it gets even more absurd. We have 35 trillion in US national debt and growing at 1 trillion per 100 days. We spend over $100 billion per month just on the interest to pay that debt. We are paying $451 billion per year to house and take care of illegal aliens. Don't forget about the billions and billions and billions of dollars that we send to Ukraine. And whatever, if we're in a good situation to do it, whatever, let's help everyone. But my point is we're nowhere close to that situation. I wish we were, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, our elected officials, those same people who are lining their own pockets, allegedly, I don't want to get sued to kingdom come, trading on insider information, basically just non-public information, they're lining their own pockets, so they're financially getting better while they're supposed to be representing us, and then yet our money is going everywhere but staying in the US. Does no one see how just dystopian wild of a world that is? Folks, this is all the smoke and mirror show of, yes, we're doing the right thing. So back in the Rona period, they printed trillions of dollars. They gave everyone a couple thousand in stimulus checks, and they're like, look, we're the government. We're here for you. We're from the government, and we're here to help. Obviously, the scariest thing you could ever hear. And they tricked everyone. A lot of people were paying attention. They were trying to scream from the rooftops that this is bad. It's going to prompt massive inflation. It's going to make the wealthy even more wealthy. It's going to make a lot of people more dependent on the system. things are gonna go wrong, and they're like,
you're crazy, we're so stoked, we're getting these stimulus checks.
And guess what now? With this absurdity of inflation, the dollar in the past couple of years has been devalued by 25%. That's in the past 4 years alone. The ratio, the gap of what your purchasing power is getting absolutely horrendous. It's getting as wide as the Grand Canyon. And now we're at a situation where we're saying, oh, thanks for the couple thousand in a stimulus check, and we didn't realize that the trade-off was probably never going to own a house. That's what's going on in the economy. That's what's going on with our politicians. The same people, do you know how disgusting it is that they took an oath to support all of us? They're selling us down the river and then lining their own pockets. That's the current state of the economy. And this isn't a left thing. This isn't a right thing. This is more of the elitist versus the populace. This is people in power, in control, with large bank accounts, insulating themselves to ensure that they stay there with their cronies, and then everyone else is basically left on a little raft by themselves. I wish this would change. If I had a magic wand, I would wave it and make it change overnight. But this is a slow moving mechanism where the people who can improve it and can change it are the same people abusing it. So we're just in this horrible catch-22 situation, actively living it out in purgatory.